Okay, we've started recording.
All right, we're set.
For those of you listening, if you are listening, this is the pilot episode, the first episode of the Slick Track podcast. We are presented by FanFuel Motorsports. Check us out at FanFuelMotorsports.com. Follow us on Twitter. We're trying to bring you some good dirt content. I will be one of the hosts here. My name is Colton Cranmore. You know me from the main podcast, and you know this guy from the main podcast as well.
Yep, it's Jared again. I'm excited to be doing this. Me and Colton kind of talked about this last year, and I think it's time to finally get another dirt podcast out there.
Yeah, and we were talking about just before we started recording that we know of a couple really big name dirt podcasts, but there's nothing that was presented by fans that is really out there for us to listen to. I'm sure I could find something, but it's not as promoted as a lot of the NASCAR podcasts are.
Yeah, it's kind of like that underrated type of series. Like there's always a bunch of fans and stuff there, but it doesn't really get that like nationally televised crowd. Like you don't see like the Chili Bowl on NBC or CBS, or you don't see your Knoxville Nationals on live TV, which I think should be on live TV because it's really good racing and there's a lot of different stories and personalities out there that people can get to know. But hopefully with us, we can try to present some of that stuff to you, the fans.
Yeah, exactly. And I've never had one person that I've taken to a dirt track and not liked it. You know, I've had a couple of asphalt races, but I've never once had a person say they didn't like the dirt races.
Yeah, I agree with that. I went to my first dirt race last year in Lernerville, and I've never gone to a dirt race before, never gone to World of Outlaws. It was like a Tuesday night. One of my friends was like, hey, let's go to a dirt race. I'm like, sure, why not? I've never been to one before, and I had the best. Honestly, that was a great night.
Yeah. Yeah, and that's the thing is I've never even been to any sprint car races. I've been to the Talladega dirt track, but other than that, there isn't really anything close out here. I'm just a guy that follows it on TV, and up until this year, not even that close, to be completely honest with you. I know a lot of the big names, but hopefully this will give me time and something to look forward to this year in actually following sprint car, late model racing, etc. throughout the entire year.
Yeah, and unlike Colton, where he lives up out in the middle of nowhere, basically, I'm kind of spoiled in Pennsylvania and have a bunch of the big named racetracks that a lot of the dirt drivers actually really like. And I guess the rumor is, some of the best dirt car drivers are from Pennsylvania. So I feel kind of honored to be a part of that.
Yeah, the posse's huge, especially in sprint car racing. Well, let's jump into it here. We are going to try to provide you guys with a little bit shorter time slotted episodes. We're going to shoot for once a week, but as the season goes on, that may change a little bit, but we will keep you guys completely updated. We're going to shoot for about, a little under an hour long episodes, just to kind of overview the races that have happened since the last episode, the races that are going to be happening before the next episode. We're going to look to have some drivers on, quite a bit of fans as well, just since we are, fan fuel.
Fueled by fans.
Fueled by fans. It says live on here. Do you see that countdown just pop up?
Yeah, I see live on there.
I don't see. I know we've been recording for a couple minutes now.
I think it still says live even whenever we're recording, because whenever Alex and I hopped on, it still said live whenever he just recorded.
Okay, I just wanted to make sure. You're right, but I wonder if it got that whole blurb in the intro.
Yeah, I don't see anything live on FanFuel, so I think we're good.
We'll have to watch this back and make sure it got all that before 3 minutes gone. We had one of the biggest, if not the biggest, dirt event of the year in the Chili Bowl as far as the amount of entries, the amount of eyeballs that are on the sport. This is one of the biggest weekends. Chili Bowl recap. Did you watch any of the Chili Bowl? Did you watch the features at least?
I watched probably from about the E-main to the main one. I watched recaps and stuff of the stuff that went on during the week. I was just too busy during the week to catch up on that, but I did get to see some of the recaps. I also saw some of the highlights for some of the drivers that I follow. But yeah, I watched from about the E-main to the feature. So this is the first year I've actually watched the Chili Bowl. So that was actually quite a cool experience. I can't wait for next year.
Yeah. So what was your opinion? Because I'll watch all the races all week just because my work schedule allows it. So this year I only missed the A-main on Thursday. Other than that, I didn't miss any races on Saturday. So that was the only race I missed this year.
I think maybe next year I might try to get my schedule where I can actually watch all of it, because I was actually really interested in watching all that. Especially, like, I think that's cool. The indoor event. It's an indoor dirt track. There's so many names and drivers there, and there's a lot of drivers that I knew from like the World of Outlaws. There were some NASCAR drivers there, and like I kind of said earlier, there's just so many different personalities and drivers out there that I can just look up, start to follow, and now that I know a bunch of these names, now I'm going to be following them throughout the season.
Yeah, and the Chili Bowl is a great place to learn new names. Especially the guys at Flow Racing do a great job of highlighting some of the bigger names and what they are famous for. So you'll see anywhere from World Outlaw guys to USAC Silver Crown guys, NASCAR guys, like you mentioned, even some modified guys. We even saw some drag racing guys in Cruz Pedregon entering the race. So it's a really great time of year to just get all of them together, and you can learn to see what every series is doing. I highly recommend next year, if you can, at least watch a couple prelim nights, because to me, that's my favorite part of the Chili Bowl is watching the races during the week.
Mm-hmm.
You get a little bit more stories of all the drivers. You can see them run multiple times. It's kind of good to see who has what equipment they're working with. Speaking of equipment, Tanner Thorson was on a fucking rail in the A-Main.
Yeah.
Holy crap.
Yeah, that was an awesome. I actually watched the whole A-Main, and that was actually pretty cool watching him chase down Christopher Bell. Got that late caution there that kind of helped him get. And of course, MavTV missed the only pass for the lead that we saw there, which I know you're going to have a lot to say about that a little bit later on. But yeah, the A-Main was pretty. I thought that was pretty good. I thought Christopher Bell was just going to run away with it, but then Tanner Thorson's car just came on there late at the end.
Yeah, I was one too. I even texted you guys in the group that I wanted Tyler Courtney to win. He's kind of my guy. But I thought for sure Bell was going to run away with it, especially as fast as he was in the pole shuffle and in his prelim night on Thursday. Man, he was in another zip code, it seemed like.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I was rooting for some of the NOS Energy guys out there. Stenhouse was in there, Shane Goldblick was in there, Tyler Courtney was in there. It was pretty cool to see the NOS. And then I followed the NOS Energy Racing page, and it just showed all the graphics. I'm like, wow, they have so many cars in there.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. It's crazy how many they run. So we had, just to recap some of the stuff that happened during the week, Tanner Carrick won the Monday prelim. He did beat out Tyler Courtney, who locked himself into the A-Main. Buddy Kofoid on Tuesday drove around Kyle Larson and straight up beat him. That was super cool to see. That kind of blew my mind a little bit, that young Michael Kofoid, call him Buddy, was able to do that and lock himself in, break up Larson's streak of Tuesday prelim wins. Wednesday, Rico got it 5 in a row. He makes 7 out of the last 8, I believe, that he's won on Wednesday. Thursday night, Christopher Bell got it, and then Friday night, Justin Grant locked himself in.
Yeah, that was pretty good. I saw the Cofield one. That was pretty cool that he got past Larson. He had a really fast car the whole time. And like you were texting me, and I even agreed. I'm like, man, if there was a couple more laps, I think he would have actually won the A-Main.
Yeah, maybe one more caution and, I don't know, 7 or 8 more laps. He probably would have slid it in there.
Yeah, his car was just coming on there towards the end. I think like he just ran out of time there.
Yeah, he's one of the guys that once the track really gets worked in, he's going to be super fast.
Mm-hmm.
We did hit a 67 flip count, which doesn't break the record from last year, which was 77. But we still had, I think we started out on Saturday morning with 49.
Mm-hmm.
Just quite a bit of flips. Chase Elliott had a big flip. Did you see his?
I did see that.
Yeah, man, he got some fucking airtime.
He did. Poor guy.
Did you see the pictures this week, too, of Carson Souza got stuck in the fence?
I did see that, too. I think did you send that in the group chat, too?
Yeah.
Yeah. There's that picture of the fan. You put on Twitter like first dirt race or something. And
oh yeah. Yeah, that was good.
Person's like scarred for life just because a car flipped right in front of him.
Yeah.
And stuff.
I had some buddies over on Saturday who had never seen any kind of real dirt racing before, and so that was a really good one to get them interested, especially in the lower mains. Mm-hmm. There's just tons of flips every other race, it seems like. So new fans, it's really good to get them into because they can learn racing through the crashes almost.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I had some of my friends, like NASCAR friends, like my friend Elliot, who's a big NASCAR fan. He's watched the Chili Bowl because his favorite driver is Alex Bowman, so he actually followed the Chili Bowl a lot this year, and he said he really enjoyed that.
Yeah, it is definitely one of my favorite events of the year. I would say Chili Bowl Saturday is probably my 3rd favorite day of the year, right after the Sunday before Memorial Day and Christmas.
Yeah.
So
I like that.
Kaylee Bryson had a really good fucking run on Saturday.
She did. She was first woman to make the A main in the Chili Bowl, and she made it with a lot of big names. You know, there's some NASCAR drivers there. You got Christopher Bell, who was in there. You got Kyle Larson that's in there. You got the defending All-Star Circuit champions Tyler Courtney is in the race. You know, now you can say Tanner Thorson, he won. So that's a pretty big accomplishment. I think she finished 18th on the lead lap. So that's a pretty good milestone. So hopefully maybe in the future we'll start to see more females starting to race in the sprint cars and dirt series.
Yeah, and she drove it up from 10th in her B main too. It wasn't just like she started on the front row and kind of held them off. Like she charged through that B main.
She
It
did.
was super cool to see.
I was watching that and I was rooting for her the whole time. Like, I hope she makes it. And then I just see her. She made that, and I'm like, that's awesome.
Yeah, that was pretty cool. And the stadium erupted when she walked out and drive her intros.
Mm-hmm.
That was damn cool to see. We also had a rookie qualify for the Chili Bowl for the first time.
We did. We had Corey Day, for only rookie to make the A main this year.
You said he was 16, right?
Yeah, 16 from California. So, yeah, that'd be cool. Whenever I was 16, I had no. I was not even close to that. I'm 23 years old and have no chance of ever running in the Chili Bowl. And he's out there at 16 years old, probably at school right now.
Yeah, I'd be lucky to make an I main at the Chili Bowl. Like that'd be a win for me. Yeah. Dylan Welch also made the A main. That was pretty cool to see. Twitter kind of lit up over that one.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that was Dylan Welch made the main. Who else made the main for the first time? Is there a couple?
I don't have any more first time. I'm sure there's at least one or two more. Dylan Welch is cool. I highlighted him because he runs a midget once a year. Like this is the only time he'll run a midget. And last year he was taken out on his prelim night, and so I was super nervous for Hannah Newhouse for like half the week.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. There was 15 entries by Keith Kuntz Motorsports, and 5 of them made the feature.
Which is incredible, by the way. You're talking about a 30-year field, which of 400 cars is amazing.
Yeah, and he had some big names. I guess he also had some really good drivers on there. Christopher Bell, Rico Abreu, Tanner Carrick, Buddy Cofield, and Kaylee Bryson. So,
yeah,
that's a pretty good lineup to have going into the Chili Bowl. And 5 out of 15 is pretty good for as many teams of drivers that there are.
Yeah, and especially when you look at the talent that's entered into it every year. Speaking of talent, we saw a big name talent start clear back in an N main on Saturday. He got DQ'd from his prelim on Wednesday in the C main, put him in an N main, old slamming Sammy.
Yeah, he made it all the way up to the E. What would you say, E main?
The I main.
I main,
which is still a hell of a run. He tied the most mains ever run through in Chili Bowl history at 6.
That's awesome. That's pretty impressive, actually, considering they only take the. How many did they take from each to the other one?
They were taking top 4 for most of those lower ones.
Okay.
Which is still incredible, and he definitely could have gotten a few more if he didn't have that damage to a suspension, to a wreck that of not of his doing.
Mm-hmm.
Would have been cool to see.
Would have been cool to see him make it all the way up to the A main. Just get the whole alphabet soup in there.
Yeah, man, he looked beat after like the L main. After like 3 races, he looked about done.
Mm-hmm.
But it was super cool to see him make a good soup run like that. What else do I got here? That's about it. We kind of blew through that.
Yeah, we did.
That's all right. We got to get good at getting through shit fast if we're going to get through all this in the summer.
Mm-hmm.
Other than that, so you watched from the E main on, so you saw the difference between Flow Racing and MavTV.
Yeah, I was a big fan of Flow Racing compared to MavTV. When they switched it, it was just a whole different vibe, and I didn't like how they would go from they'd do the drone cam, and then they would go to the turn 1 thing. They'd miss all the battles that were happening, or they'd show a battle, then they'd cut to a single file race racing, or even in the A main where they just miss the only pass for the lead. How hard is it to miss that whenever the track's literally, it takes 10 seconds to do a lap? You can't tell me that. I get it in NASCAR when they're focusing on so many different things because the track's so spread out, but when you're in a short track like that only has 10-second laps, I think you should be able to at least follow, or at least, hey, there's a close battle for the lead. Maybe let's pan to that or something, you know?
Yeah. And I think you said it maybe in our group chat that it was like watching a Jason Bourne movie.
Mm-hmm.
They just like cut camera angles like every second and a half, it seemed like. And
Heck,
that was probably my.
Heck, even the last lap, they were like, they get the white flag. Instead of showing like Tanner Thorson, they just showed like the battle for third or fourth place, wasn't it?
Yeah. Yeah, it was something like that. Like, of
so
all
confused.
the laps to film one full lap, you got to get the last lap of the A main.
Mm-hmm.
I think my biggest gripe was the amount of camera angle changes that they had, and the fact that they would show us this battle for half a straightaway or a straightaway, and they cut the camera angle, but they wouldn't cut the camera angle on those two drivers. They cut the camera angle like 4 cars behind them.
Mm-hmm.
And so I'd watch this good battle between, you know, Tyler Courtney and whoever, and then they'd switch the camera angle, and I'd go, well, shit, I wasn't watching that. That's fine.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I don't even know how it was that bad. Like, I just don't know. I feel bad. I'm glad that a lot of the All-Star Circuit of Champions is on Flow Racing and that the World of Outlaws have Dirt Vision because they have really good coverage, I think, at least from what I got out of last year. Because last year I got the Dirt Vision and actually watched that from the whole second half of the year on.
Yeah, that is something I need to get this year. I've never indulged in Dirt Vision before.
Yeah, Dirt Vision's nice. It's got the World of Outlaws sprints, got the World of Outlaws late models, got the Super Dirt Car big block modifieds on there. And it's kind of cool because you know how like during the week they'll go to whatever local track and have like those local series there too. And they'll actually play like the announcing of like the announcers from that actual main track. So like I was watching a race like in Tennessee or something, and you know, you get like the cliche like hillbilly guys out there that are always out there Saturday nights or something, and it's just awesome because like those guys, the local guys, get some coverage on. I guess it's their like national TV because it's Dirt Vision, but they get the little bit of spotlight from them, so that's kind of cool to see.
That is pretty cool. Yeah, I'm definitely gonna have to get it. At very least for the World Outlaws. I've been meaning to for a couple years now, but I've never wanted to shell out the money for it. But granted, I just spent $100 on MavTV, so I can fork over a little bit of money for good coverage.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, you get so many coverage like races, and then there's even like the archive. So if I wanted to watch a race from like 2018 or something, like one night I watched, it was an old race, I think at Sharon Speedway. It was like the battle between Kyle Larson and Christopher Bell from like I think it was like 2020 or something. And that was a really good race to watch too. So they have like archives. You can watch any race from last year, the year before, or I don't know how many years back it goes, but there's definitely a lot of races you can go back and watch.
That is pretty damn cool.
And it's all like right there. You can just look like just filter it by the year, and it has all the tracks. And I think some even have like some racetracks like Houston Speedway and I think Williams Grove. I think they still have on Dirt Vision like the regular races. So even if World of Outlaws aren't there, they still have like that weekend's event on there.
Yeah.
So it's definitely worth it. If you're big into dirt racing, I definitely recommend getting that because there's just so much racing you can watch on there.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm definitely going to have to do it, sign up here soon. I think the Outlaws start here in just a couple weeks. I've already got Flow, so the Circuit of Champions, when they start, I think you said it was on the 4th.
Yep, they're starting on the 4th in somewhere in Georgia. I forget what it's called in Georgia, but it's in Georgia.
Yeah, so I'll be able to watch all that, which is awesome. If anyone listening, I cannot recommend Flow Racing enough. For the $150 yearly fee, that does seem expensive, but you will get all the prelim nights of Chili Bowl, all the mains up to the C main. You'll also get one of my favorites is the Gateway Dirt Nationals, and then the Tulsa Shootout as well, along with thousands of other local races throughout the year. The Ice Bowl is on there. I'd have to see. I think they have the Chili Wheelie on there as well. I mean, we're talking asphalt and dirt racing on there. So super good to have, even just to put on as background noise. You can listen to damn near any kind of racing you want. And for $150 a year, that's a pretty good price.
Yeah, definitely. I don't remember how much Dirt Vision is, but I also recommend that.
I think it's like $25 a month or $250 for the year. I want to say $200 for the year, maybe.
I think that sounds right. Which still also isn't bad for all the reasons that I just listed a few minutes ago.
Yeah, that's definitely on my to-do list here in the next couple weeks. You mentioned you were in Pennsylvania. For those of us listening who may not know all the tracks in Pennsylvania, list some of the tracks that are around you that you're planning on going to this year.
Well, we got Port Royal Speedway. There's a couple races that the World of Outlaws, both sprints and late models, will be there. Which is, I also heard that Port Royal is like a big favorite track. I think Kyle Larson really likes Port Royal. I think it's called the Action Track. So I went there for the first time in October for the Nittany Shootout. I got to see Spencer Basin win that race, who's going to be competing for a Rookie of the Year this year. We got Williams Grove, which has the what's it called? I forget what the big thing's called right now, but it's like $75,000 to win that. We got Williams Grove, Port Royal, Lernerville Speedway. They have some big events. The big one they have is the Thundercracker 100, which the Lucas Oil Late Model Series comes there for a couple days. I think they're like a Thursday, Friday, Saturday show. There's a couple. I think there's a speedway in Pittsburgh. Sealands Grove is a big name one there. All-Star Circuit Champions are going to Bloomsburg Fairground this year, and they're also going to Thunder Valley this year, which is probably the closest track to me. That's a solid half hour away from where I live. They're all they're all reasonably distanced too. I think Port Royal's about an hour and a half. Williams Groves is about 2.5. Lernerville's about an hour and a half. Bloomsburg's about an hour and a half. So I'm about, whenever they say you're in central Pennsylvania, I am basically in central Pennsylvania, and I'm like right in the center of everything.
Yeah, which isn't bad. I mean, I think the closest dirt track to me is an hour and a half away, both south and north of me, and then I think the closest the Outlaws come is South Dakota, which is, I want to say 6 hours away. I know they run in Nebraska quite a bit in an I-80 Speedway, and then, of course, the Belleville Midget Nationals are out there, but we're talking about 7-hour drive for me.
The thing I'm looking forward to is there's a speedway. It's called Hidden Valley Speedway. It's about literally like 5 minutes from where I live, and on Saturdays I can actually hear, because it's like up in the mountain near where I live, and I can actually hear all the cars and racing going on Saturday nights whenever they actually have events, because it'll be like midnight or 1 o'clock, and then you can still hear the cars going from up there. But they just got new ownership, so I'm hoping that maybe these new owners will try to maybe get some sort of event, whether it's like late model sprint cars or something there. It's a really cool speedway. I love that place.
That is pretty interesting, pretty cool. You can still hear them late into the night.
Yeah, I'll show you. I'll send you a picture of it tonight. It's really cool.
Yeah, you'll definitely have to do that. I used to live in Bozeman, Montana, and I was actually in Belgrade, which is, it's Bozeman. And right by my trailer park where I live, there was an airport, and right behind the airport was a dirt track. And Austin Dillon actually raced there one night. It was pretty cool. Same kind of deal. You could hear the cars super late at night. Never did go there, but it was always super cool to know that I could probably throw a rock hard enough and maybe hit one of the signs along the fence or something.
Yeah, definitely need to. Hopefully, like I said, I hope they get some sort of series there, whether it's Lucas Oil Late Models or the All-Star Circuit of Champions or just something in that area, because it's not really bad. It's not a bad track at all. It's really cool, and I think just the scenic views there. I think a lot of drivers really like to see that at least. So
yeah,
hopefully we'll see what happens in the next couple of years.
And I am trying to go to the Atlanta race in July, so I'll be down in Georgia. Hopefully staying with Alex's dad, Chad Harrington, and then I'm hoping there's like a midweek race or something that I can fly in a little bit early and go see, just so I can check out another dirt track down there.
Yeah, that'd be cool, actually. Yeah, Alex told me about that, so I think I'm going to have to try to plan a few days and take off. I'll have to look at the local race dirt track schedules around there, because I wouldn't mind doing that either, honestly.
Yeah, we'll have to just fly out there and check it out.
I'm sure we can find something, even if it's like Saturday, even if it's Saturday night before. Like, there's definitely somewhere Saturday night we could go to.
Yeah, there should be at least. Other than that, we kind of hit the very blanket of the Chili Bowl. We kind of gave an overview. Hopefully, it's stuck on here of what the podcast is going to be like, what we're going to try to plan for. We do have a couple drivers we're looking at. Hopefully. Fingers crossed. We haven't had it set in stone yet, but it's sounding like we're going to have a pretty big name World Outlaw guy on here within the next couple weeks. And Other than that,
you might be the minority there. Pennsylvania versus Wyoming.
Yeah. Oh, well, I'm in the minority any way I look at it.
Yeah.
Man, our state has less people than Washington, D.C., so it's hard.
You're kind of out there.
Yeah. Other than that, I think we're about good. Anyone listening or watching, thank you for bearing with us in this. This was a very pilot episode. That's why it doesn't even have an episode number when you guys see it uploaded. We are just kind of greasing up the wheels here to see exactly how this is going to flow. We'll obviously take some notes tonight about what we think we can do better, how to make it flow a little bit easier.
Mm-hmm.
Other than that, please check us out, FanFuelMotorsports.com. We will be broadcasting live to the FanFuel banners on Facebook, so check us out on Facebook at FanFuel Motorsports and on Twitter at FanFuelMSM. We will be going live on there as well as YouTube. Check us out, FanFuel, one word, and then Motorsports on YouTube. And then you can go back there and archive all of the last season of the big FanFuel Motorsports podcast we do. You will see Jared and I on the main, the headlining podcast, FanFuel Motorsports. We do that once a week.
Yeah, even check out the website, FanFuelMotorsports.com. We're going to be trying to a lot more content's going to be posted there. I'm going to start posting some NASCAR preview stuff, probably do some World of Outlaws preview stuff. Just a bunch of stuff's coming because racing's right around the corner. We're about midway through January. February is coming. NASCAR season coming. All-Star Circuit Champions starting up with the 4th, like we said. The World of Outlaws sprint cars, late models. That's all racing season's coming.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, it'll be here quick. Again, check us out on FanFuelMotorsports.com. We'd love to hear from you guys. So please check us out. There is an application. Please submit some content. We do not do a very good job at vetting that content. So send damn near anything you want. We're going to try to get some info about local tracks as far as what's good about those local tracks, where to avoid sitting, where's the best place to sit, where's good places to eat, to camp, etc. around the town and around those local tracks. That will be coming more so this year as we all start to visit them. And as we branch out to you guys as far as what you guys are like to see in your local tracks. Like Jared said, we are going to cover a lot more dirt racing this year than we have the past year. Other than that, you got any more plugs, Jared? I know you do some graphic design stuff still.
I do. Check out my main account at PKJared9. You can find that on Instagram and Twitter, but you can also check out my JB Graphics page on Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook. That's just at JB_graphics 2 underscores. There's a lot of stuff that we're posting right now on there, and we're just going to keep going as the year goes on.
Yeah, hell yeah. I look forward to it. Well, thank you guys so much for listening. This has been a great pilot episode of the Slick Track Podcast.